Hello, this is JT from ASCII News, joined by council council nominee Sally Fields for the bureaucrat position. Going to be answering some questions for us tonight. First off, Sally, let's start by you introducing yourself in your own words.
Hi, I'm Sally Fields. I'm a politician by training, and I've always wanted to be part of the FEF. I see their work on the surface as the utmost importance to bunker ascendant. And while it did take me a while to get to be in the FEF, I spent a long time prepping to take part in surface expeditions, getting my shooting scores up. My mum was a big help with that. I mean, she's amazing with the gun, so she helped me. And then learning what a bureaucrat can do to assist while on the surface. So basically, I talk to everybody, I record everything, and I make a mean cup of coffee.
Sounds a bit like my job, to be honest. More of the shooting though when I'm up at the top though. Thanks for that. So why is it that you want to be on the council in the first place?
I'm going to be really honest. I don't. What I want to do is find the lost histories. I want to be searching for the missing bunkers and reconnecting with them. I want to be listening to tribal storytellers and learning their histories and learning how that can help us. I want to support soldiers and other crats and medics and engineers and everyone that we have in the FEF in the bunker, and whether that means standing behind them with an ammo box or means helping them as a diplomat in the field like I did with Casterly and Kincaid, or by working with the Forged, that's what I want to be doing. But I feel strongly enough in opposition to other candidates that I have to stand, because the bunker, the FEF, the Ascendancy, that's way more important than what my desires for a quiet life chasing history are for. I cannot stand idly by. I'm not that kind of person. And that's why I'm standing. My duty to the bunker demands that I stand.
Okay, good answer. Thank you. So if you are elected, then what plans do you have for the bunker and the Ascendancy?
So I want to work with everyone in the bunker and the Ascendancy to face problems that we have as a unified force. I want to work on developing new allies, and I want to make sure we're looking in the right place for solutions, and we don't open our doors to those that would work against the morals and the duties of the Ascendancy. And so we're doing everything we can to be the best that we can. I think we've got quite a few issues that are facing us. Things like, we've just lost a major power source. We have the hive and things like that. And working together, I think we can defeat them.
Okay, so moving on from the whole working together, it's a great idea that we all get on and that we all work together to further the goals of humanity. But obviously, we don't know everybody up the stairs. So, how will you ensure sensitive information about the bunker does not fall into the hands of those who could be considered our enemies?
So information security is really important. We know that Fortitude was listening into our comms before we established our working relationship with them. We also know that the hive can hack into comms arrays. And when I went out with Fortitude soldiers, Michael Shannon, and Cal to test chaps, we saw them doing this firsthand. They are adapting to our ways of working. And I think people that listen to the comms and use them all the time are really important to looking at the flow of information and working out who has information that they maybe shouldn't. So people like Quartermaster Max are absolutely vital because they listen to everything and they see where things might not be entirely right. And I think the bureaucrats, they can also look at the paperwork, they look at patterns, and they can see where maybe our information isn't quite as secure as we want it to be, and we can change that. I mean, the engineers do an amazing job of keeping our comms secure and things like that, and we want to be building on that. I think that's really important.
Thank you. Thank you. So, what are your thoughts on the other factions on the surface then?
So there are so many factions on the surface that will take far longer than this. You don't want to be spending all your time with me. You've got other people to see, I'm sure, but I'll try and be brief.
Okay.
So there are so many factions that could be our trading partners, even if they're not our allies or part of the Ascendancy, they really could be our trading partners. I've had an amazing time learning from the Forged, for example, and now we're setting them up as a trading partner. Looking at the metals that they're digging out and things like that. So that's really important. There are people like the Wolfkin and the tribes of the Free Peoples, and I think learning from them we can know more about the surface. I mean, they've got information that we don't have, and we can work together to make things better for all of our peoples. There are factions that are going to prove problematic. Things like Aegeus, I I worry about them. I really do worry about them and their intentions for the Ascendancy, for our bunker. And also, I've been working with Dahl, the Dahl Institute, on what else is out there. And Dahl has come back with the figure that there could be 30 to 50 other bunkers out there that we haven't met yet. And that's a huge and quite terrifying number because we don't know who we're going to meet. We don't know exactly where they are. And, that's going to be quite an interesting thing to deal with when we do actually meet them.
Okay. So moving on then, what do you think is the biggest challenge the FEF faces and how do you plan to overcome that?
So in the short term, I think it's the hive. I really do think it's the hive. And I think we have a good plan. We are taking the fight to them. We're going to destroy where they replicate. And, all of the FEF and with the bunker behind us is working towards that. And I think, we absolutely can do if we use, the people of the Fortitude, the Free People, we pull together as a group, we can absolutely take them. In the long term, I'm going to go back to something that I said previously. I think it's the unknown. We're meeting up with new factions all the time, and I want to make sure that we don't repeat the mistakes of the past, because we did make some mistakes with the Free People when we first met them. And I also want to make sure we don't run headlong into alliances that fundamentally will damage the bonds between the FEF, the bunker, the Free Peoples. I'm making no effort to conceal how worried I am about Brother Eli and Aegeus. I think they are after us to do things that are so fundamentally against everything I believe in, and everything that I believe that we as a people believe in, that we do need to be very, very concerned. And they are a major part of why I decided to run for councillor.
Okay. Thank you for that. Good thoughts. So moving on then, how do you intend to address the increasing concern that C7 usage is directly linked to psychic ability and could be the reason for the fall 500 years ago?
Yeah, this is not my area of expertise. So I am absolutely going to listen to much, much wiser, far more intelligent people than me on this. If a scientist, a medic, anyone comes to me with evidence, then I'll consult with the psychic counsellor, I'll consult with the council, and we'll use the facts that we have rather than rumours. I have been absolutely saddened by the scaremongering about psychic abilities and the fall and everything that's happened recently. And I think we're better than that. We need evidence and we can act on evidence. And as I've said before, one of my manifesto promises is to try and work on finding other forces, other forms of power in case we do move away from C7 or against a shortfall of C7, which we currently could be facing. There are resources out there, and I want to use, history to find them. So we've got old maps. We've got the resources that the Free Peoples have. The storytellers have such a wealth of knowledge, but no one's looked at how all the stories relate together. I mean, going on a mission with Rav was just amazing to hear the Wolfkin storytellers, and then to actually be able to act on that, to go and find something that had been lost to the Wolfkin peoples for a very long time. And I think that things like that are what I can do, what we can do to meet some of the problems that we're facing, like the C7s.
Yes, I remember that that mission. Rav did not throw away his shot. That was a good story.
Yeah.
So moving on then, speaking of the Free Peoples, rumor has it that there is dissent among the tribes of the Free Peoples. Do you have any comments on that?
It's a difficult one, but every member of the Ascendancy has different methods of government, different cultures, and we have to respect those cultures. And if they want to change their method of government or their leader, it is down to them to choose and to deal with it via their traditional methods. Unless it becomes an issue for the entirety of the Ascendancy, and then we need to have a conversation, but it's not for us to go in and change their culture, because that would just be wrong.
Okay. And what have you done already to benefit the people you want to represent?
You okay if I swear during this?
Yes.
I just wanted to check, because one of the things that I've done is work on a lot of relationships. And I worked on on the project with Cassidy and Kincaid, and we were under fire. There was Hive soldiers, the medics had just got Kincaid back up with nanites, and he was still a bit, and he was basically going to leave, and there was problems happening. And I told him to stop measuring his fucking cock with the Ascendant soldiers and help us kill the fucking Hive. And maybe not the most diplomatic thing I could have done, but it made him stop, it made him think, and we managed to get his people home. And then he came back to the forward outpost, and then we could actually have a conversation with him, and it got the job done. So I've done that. But I've also opened up a new trade route with the Forged. I've been working with Michael Shannon on, establishing relationships with the Forged. They have metal and resources that we need to take the fight to the Hive, and they have just given me permission to escort others into their territory so that we can discuss a permanent trade route, which I think is going to be really important. My next project is to approach the Pack, which is a new group that we've just learned about. And I've received an invite into their territory, and I'm hoping to see what is there, if we can build a relationship, or if we have to be worried. After that, I plan on finding the snakes. And I think building up trading relationships is what I do. And I think I've done, if I say so myself, a pretty good job about it. Okay,
brilliant. Thank you for that. And last but not least, anything further you would like to add?
I'm going to work tirelessly as a counsellor. My door is always going to be open. I will talk to absolutely everybody, and I plan on supporting all professions to the very best of my abilities. And I want to listen to everybody. I want to take your views on threats and situations, and I will treat them seriously. And if you know more than me, I want to learn from you and use that to inform my decisions, because that is what matters to me. Everybody in the bunker pulling together for the best of the bunker.
Okay, thank you ever so much for your time today. This has been JT with ASCII News and from Guns and Ammo, interviewing Sally Fields for the position of Bureaucrat Counsellor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.